I sit with this group of friends at my lunch, and their names are Summer, Morgan, Linnea, Michaela, and Hannah.
Okay.
And when it comes to new people sitting with us, we're really selective because we all talk about the same stuff, and we're just scared that we might not have anything in common with them. Eventually, one day when we were all sitting at lunch, this girl, her name was Monica, and she was mentally challenged. She did speak, but for coping mechanisms, I guess, she made weird noises, kind of like grinding noises, like growling, stuff like
I
that.
talk to myself. But
Anyway,
that's only because I'm
we were
trying
skeptical about
on my
her sitting
videos.
with us, but eventually we
Don't think
agreed,
anything about
and
it.
then it started to get weird from there. She started yelling out like a cuckoo clock, like Kiko, 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 and she was grinning at us, and we were all weirded out from that, and we just
She's just
wanted to
making
get rid of her.
noises, like,
We
what's
didn't
the
want
big
her to sit
deal?
with us at the table. So we figured out a plan to get rid of her, and
Why would you want to
we
do
told
that?
her, hey, we're going to go sit in the multi-purpose room. Do you want to come join us?
That's a lie.
And then she got all excited and left before us,
Oh my
and we never
God.
followed her.
Oh my
We just
God.
sat at her own table and talked about how dumb she was, and
She's
I
not
laughed
dumb. She's just
about it,
mentally
and
challenged.
after we
That
were
doesn't mean
laughing
she's
about how
dumb.
dumb she was, the lunch monitor, who was also our gym teacher,
Uh-oh.
yelled at us saying that we shouldn't be treating mentally challenged children like that, and we felt bad about it, and
Wah,
after
wah.
the gym teacher yelled at us, Morgan, Summer, Hannah, and I, we were thinking of a plan to make it up to her. So one day when she was sitting at lunch by herself, she was sad, and Morgan and I went up to her and we apologized for how we abandoned her, and we asked her if she wanted to come sit with us from now on, and she said yes, and she joined us, and we ended up having a great time. She is now my friend, and we do a lot together. Morgan, Monica, and I, we all hang out at the lunch table and do stuff after school. Now I know you should never, ever treat someone who's mentally challenged differently, and they're just like us. And now that I've learned my lesson, I've never done that again.
I was living in a foreign country and I was very different from everybody else, so I didn't have many friends. And one
Everybody's
day
different.
I met this girl, her name was Bethany, and she was like, oh hey, and I was like, hi, you're English? And she was like, yeah, you're English too. And I'm like, yeah, woo. We had like a little party. I was like, yay. So I started talking to her and she was like, oh, I have a couple of other friends if you want me to introduce you to them. And I was like, sure. And then she introduced me to them, and their names were Amy and Nicholas. And we were like best friends. We were like BFFs for life, all of us. Anyway, a couple of years passed, and me and Amy were as close as ever. Little did I realise, Amy was not as good as I thought she was.
Uh-oh.
She would always insult me and call me fat, and I would come home sometimes crying at night, and like I wouldn't eat because I was so upset that she would call me that, and I felt like I had to impress her. And she would do it to Nicholas as well, and this went on for a long time. She would just insult us every day by saying small things like, you're fat, and then she would joke about something, and she'd be like, you're ugly. She'd joke about something, ugh, your clothes are horrible, and then she'd say something else. I started talking with my mum about it because she realised that I was getting very upset, and she noticed a lot of change in me, that I was losing more weight and that I wasn't very healthy. And one day I said to her, I was like, so, you know, why are you so mean to us? You know, why do you always insult us? And she was like, no, I don't, you idiot. You know, like just sneaking it in like that made me realise that she isn't a good friend. all these years I had been under her spell, so to speak, and I'd had enough of it. And I said, hey, I'm sorry, but I can't be friends with you anymore if you're going to continue like this. And she was like, what are you on about? I'm one of the best friends, you know, where are you going? What are you doing? And I was like, I can't be friends with someone who's always insulting me all the time and being so horrible and dragging me down. So she was like, whatever. And she walked away and went with another group of friends, and I stayed with Nicholas. And then I got home and I found out that she had blocked me on all social media things. And then the next day I saw Bethany, and she had told me that Amy had gone around all over the school and said that I was going through some emotional stuff and that I was being an idiot. I was just so mad, and I didn't say anything because I didn't want to start anything and make me look like the bad person. Now I'm happy, I have loads of friends, and sometimes I wish that she was still my friend because we did have fun together, but I realised that if I wasn't happy and she was being horrible to me, then what kind of friendship is that if, you know, you're horrible to someone?